welcome back to Tea with Carolina. I'm Carolina LeGrant with Teach Through Play, and this is our weekly Q&A offering you support for your children with all sorts of special needs. So I have my cup of tea this week, and I'm very excited. Oh, hang on, let me just taste it for you. It's very good tea this week. This is my very favorite mint and nettle tea. So it's excellent. I hope yours is as well. And we have a really fun question this week from a mom named Sandrine about questions. So I'm answering your questions about questions. All right, so Sandrine asks, "Hi Carolina, I'm so happy that you're back. Ulysses has made wonderful progress since you were here in France for the workshop. He is speaking really well now, and although he still has room to grow, the majority of people understand him now." First, let me just say, Sandrine, that is so exciting. I know that you wanted him to speak more when I was there, and I'm just so excited to hear that he's speaking so well now. So congratulations, and I'm also glad to be back. Thank you. The challenge for us now is that he's not figuring out how to ask questions. He's stuck on this one. For example, I know that he wants to talk about his brother when he says Tristan. But he doesn't actually say, "Where is Tristan?" or "What is Tristan doing?" I help him by saying back to him the question that I think he's trying to ask, and he repeats that after me. But then another day, if he wants to ask the question again, he doesn't remember the question and once again only says, "Tristan?" So, do you have a trick that could help me teach him how to better ask questions? I'm sending you a hug and lots of love, Sandrine. All right, so Sandrine, wonderful question. One, because it's so exciting that Ulysses is talking so much more and is now ready to answer questions or ask questions. So that's super exciting. And number two, it's a great question because I know a lot of parents struggle with this transition from teaching just saying a sentence, speaking something for what they want, to actually asking, which is a very different form of communication. So I think it's a really great question to address. And I know that many, many parents of you all out there have the same question. So I want to address this from a particular perspective today. Number one, I want to start off with the idea that if you are teaching your child communication, any language skill that you can imagine, and this applies for questions, of course, but it applies for any language skill that you're ever going to teach your child. If you're going to teach language, you have to first teach your child the joy of communication. Language is not something we do just because someone told us to when we were 2 years old. We learn to speak because it's fun to talk. Because when you talk to somebody, you get things that you want. That's how we start off. But then you get fun things from people you love. You figure out at a very young age, typically, that if I say a word, my mom will do this really fun, silly game for me. And so communication with another person becomes very fun. I learn to speak even more and ask questions and express my opinions and have a conversation with someone because it's fun to share with my friends. It's fun to learn about people that I love. Teaching language is not just teaching language. Words are just words. They don't have any meaning unless behind the words, I'm having fun saying that word or saying that sentence or asking a question. So when we're talking about teaching Ulysses or any child how to speak questions or really how to speak any word at all, it's really important to remember that this is not about teaching questions. This is about teaching how much fun it is to ask questions. So Sandrine, my first point to you would be, look at what you're doing in your daily life. Are you having fun asking questions? Because I want Ulysses to see how much fun it is to ask questions all the time. So you could be, for example, in the kitchen cooking dinner. You don't have to be focusing on Ulysses. And you could be making some cookies. So you're looking for some flour and you're looking for some sugar. And normally you wouldn't say anything, right? You just get out the flour and you get out the sugar and you mix. What if you start showing Ulysses how much fun questions are and you go, "Oh my goodness, where is the flour? I don't remember where I put it. Where could the flour be? I have to go find the flour so I can make my cookies. Where is the flour?" And then you find it in the cupboard, of course, where you left it. But you're actually showing Ulysses that questions are part of your daily life and they're fun. The thing is, once we're adults, we learn to either talk very quietly to ourselves or keep our questions in our own mind. And so it would be really fun to start showing Ulysses and showing all of your children, if you want them to speak to you and ask questions, then you've got to show them how much fun it is to ask questions. And there's all kinds of ways you could do that. Where is my toothbrush? When do we get to go to the pool? Oh, it's almost time. When do we get to go to the pool? When do we get to go to the pool? When do we get to go to the playroom? There's so many questions that you could ask in your daily life to show this joy of communication. So make sure you start there. If you haven't been showing how much fun questions are, then Ulysses might not understand exactly why he'd want to ask a question. All right, so point number 2 that I also think is really important. You've got to really help Ulysses understand what he's doing now and the difference between what he's doing now and what you need. All right, so if you've now spent some time around your house asking questions to random people and making it fun to ask questions, showing that to all your kids, then the next step is when Ulysses comes to you and he says, Tristan? So he is asking a question, he's just not having the question words. My guess is that a lot of parents, you included potentially, maybe what you do is he says, Tristan, and you say, where is Tristan? He is outside playing in the yard. So generally speaking, I see parents model the question right away and then give the answer. So then the message that Ulysses is receiving is, oh, okay, great. When I say Tristan, Mom fills in the question for me and gives me the answer. So then Ulysses doesn't really have a reason to ask any more. Do you see that? So if you're responding right away, let's move that back a little bit. First, let's show Ulysses what he's doing now, and so we can show him the difference between that and a question. So he says, Tristan, and you say, Tristan. Tristan loves to blow bubbles, and then you blow some bubbles. Or you say, Tristan is 4 years old. Or you say, Tristan went to sleep last night at 8 o'clock. So you are responding to something that Ulysses is asking you, but you're not responding to where is Tristan. If you think that's what Ulysses is asking, you've got to show him that I don't understand that from just the word Tristan. So you teach a joy of communication, part 1. Part 2, you respond literally to show Ulysses that when he says Tristan, you understand the word and you do respond, but you don't know exactly what he means. All right, so you could respond in a bunch of silly ways. Oh, Tristan has never eaten a bug in his life. Oh, thank goodness, right? You can respond with anything silly and fun to show him that you're talking about Tristan. And after you do a couple of those responses where you're responding literally to what Ulysses said, then you pause and you say, oh, wait a minute. Did you mean where is Tristan? And you ask it again with joy and fun, making the question big and exciting. After you've responded literally, then definitely you model the question, absolutely, and then you fill in the answer. But I want there to be more space between Ulysses saying Tristan and you responding to his question, because I want him to understand that when he just says Tristan, I don't know what that means. Tristan could mean all sorts of things. So in the second part, it's important to respond literally, and then it's important to give several responses that don't totally respond to his question so that he can see, if I want her to answer where is Tristan, I've got to come up with more words for that. All right? Now, I would suggest as part 3 of this answer that you, Sandrine, and you, any mom or dad who is watching this, that you spend more time on teaching questions than just times around the house. So if you have time in the kitchen to answer a question about Tristan, awesome, wonderful, respond literally, give a bunch of funny responses, model the question, and give the answer. But I think it's important that in the playroom or in a focused time, if you don't have a playroom, spend some focused time with your child where you are showing these steps. You could create games all around asking and answering questions. So if you have time in the playroom or in your child's bedroom, just spend some quality one-on-one time where you don't have the television, you don't have your phone, you don't have any distractions, and neither does your child. So Sandrine, you could go spend time with Ulysses, and you could do a whole scavenger hunt in the playroom where you're going and you're looking for things. Maybe you've hidden some of his favorite like pictures of his favorite characters. You've hidden them around the room. And so you come in and you go, oh my goodness, where is Donald Duck? I know he's in here somewhere. Where's Donald Duck? Donald Duck, where are you? And then you go and you find Donald Duck and you go, oh, here he is. And then you pretend to be Donald Duck in your best Donald Duck voice. And you show Tristan how much fun it is to use the question, where is Donald Duck? And go and find him. And then you do it again. Oh my goodness, I think that I see Mickey Mouse. I know he's here somewhere. I can smell him. Okay, where is Mickey Mouse? And you go looking for another character. So I'm sure you could design all kinds of games that involve showing how fun questions are, number one. But number two, you'd then be modeling where, what, who questions, so that you're showing your kids how much fun and what kinds of questions they could use. So to summarize, number one, start off teaching a joy of communication. This is not just about teaching questions, it's about how fun questions are. Number two, when your child asks an unclear question, like Tristan, make sure you respond literally. So you are responding to Tristan, but not where is Tristan. You respond with a bunch of other silly things. And then you model the question you think he's asking and respond to his question. And then part three, make sure that you spend some time other than just these random moments that he asks about Tristan. Spend time in the playroom, spend time every day designing games and activities that are fun ways of showing how questions are useful in life. All right, so I hope that these are helpful for all of you awesome parents out there who are teaching questions to your kids or any other language skill. I bet you could apply this to anything you want to teach your child within language. And I look forward to future questions from all of you. Please remember to send your questions to me. I would love to answer them. It's always a joy for me to spend time with you this way. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you very soon. Bye.